Let me get set up with the camera so you guys can see what's been going on. Ivan was working on music today too, on top of it. Let's see what we got going on here. Excuse me, I've been drinking soda and it's. Oop. Really? Hang on a second, guys. Drop the phone. Drop the phone. Get my grabber. There's another one. I got a magnet right here. There's a magnet on the back of the phone. Jesus. All that just because I dropped the phone. Sorry about that, guys. All right, let's try this again. Okay, one thing down. Plug in the phone so we're not dealing with any kind of battery, anything like that. I know you're probably saying, well, what's those toothpicks? All right, so let's put that over here like this. Let me zoom in. A little too far. A little too far. Okay, we got one watching. Say hello. Give me a second, guys. I gotta close this. Go to my channel so I can see your comments. Okay. Say hello. And we are closing in on finishing up on the on putting the clay on the head. Done a lot of work too. I even actually sculpted the nose because it was eating at me so bad. It looked like Jimmy Durani's nose. I was like, oh no, we can't leave that like that. So I actually started sculpting the nose a little bit better. And right now I'm closing in the top of the head. And all right, okay, I let you sit there long enough. Okay, so then we're going to show you the face. We're going to show you what's going on here. This is going to be a nice sculpture. This is going to be a really nice flashback. I have no doubt because I have all the proportions right. I had to fill in these cheeks a little bit more here because William Shatner's face is just a little bit rounder in this area here. And the scowl, that'll all take care of itself. The profile is right on here. I just have to, and even the nose is almost there. I have to do the inside, and I still got the cheeks to do, you know, the indented cheeks and all that fun stuff. The details are after I get the clay where it needs to be. And I got to measure everything to make sure that we are 100. Yo, what's happening? Takeoff vision. Did a lot of work. Did a lot of work, man. You can see I sculpted the nose. I got the nose pretty much nailed. And right now I'm filling in the top of the head. I have to keep going. I have to go with the same thickness with the top of the head too. I thought about it. What's happening? Humble dude. This is going to be the flashback. This is going to be the flashback mask. And after it's done being the flashback, it's going to be the 2018. And I'm even going to make a 2018 version of my Night Creeper. But I will make a 2018 from this because this will be more accurate to the movie, the movies that were released from 2018 until what, year and a half ago. This is going to cover the Flashback, the 2018, the Kills, and the Ends mask. They're all going to be made very similar. They'll have the same shape. The jaw line's really close. There's alterations, trust me. But what we're doing is we're making sure we're staying the same thickness all the way around this thing. And what I do, before I put that on there, I look down on it like this. And I see where it's thicker than others. Okay, so that's okay, that's the back of the head. I need a little bit of back of the head thicker anyway, because I want to make sure that the eye socket, your eyes are sunk into this mask more. So we're going to go right here. Now you got to remember, I got to keep following the contour. I want to stay the same thickness, but I have to make sure that I'm staying with the contour of the head. And then what happens next is the I pretty much know the distance just by the feel of my finger, my finger is in here. All right. Yes, it does, doesn't it? The nose definitely helps. Sculpting the nose definitely helps. I've had so much trouble with the nose that I pretty much have it down in memory now, muscle memory and everything, as far as how I sculpt it. That's what's going to happen with this sculpture. It's going to be a little bit more easier for me because we completely went away from the what do you call it, sculpture, the Night Creeper. This is a completely changed shape of the head. This needed to be done. One, the clay wasn't sticking. Two, we were dealing with the head shape was just way wrong. So I have to do this. Takeoff Vision, you got my friend request. Facebook. I will take a look at that. And as a matter of fact, I can do it now. I have to get up off this chair. Let me get this piece of clay on here first. And I just keep working it in. This clay's already stiffening up too much. I was setting up and trying to get everything ready for the stream, and I let this clay get too hard. This is just to get a basic thickness of what I need. This isn't the shaping or anything yet. We still got a lot of that to do, but it's going to take very minimal clay now to really get everything honed in right, because it's more human shaped than the other one. I had so much clay on that sculpture, or on the armature last time. It was terrible. So yeah, so we are going places with this already. I'm further along now than I was when I first did this 3 years ago. I have it exactly at 26 inches, or 27 inches, I'm sorry. I have a 27-inch diameter. That's perfect. And I just kept adding about a ½ inch all the way around in clay to get this completely, And as you can see, I made the neck longer. Now, I'm going to really straighten out this neckline with a spatula, you know, to make sure that the line is really nice. So I'm just taking these worms of clay and keep pushing it into the head. See what I'm doing here is I see where I'm up against the head here with my finger, right? And then right here, I'm just rolling it into the top of that finger. And making sure everything's going in at that thickness. Thickness is right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to melt the clay again because it's starting to really stiffen up too much. I need it semi-soft to be able to shape, make sure that I can keep pushing the shape of the head. But look at the profile already. You can see. All right, I'm poking myself to death. This is ear holes. I have to mark the ear holes. This is the exact center of the eye on both sides. And I have another one on the other ear. It's toothpicks, just to show where the ear hole goes when I get to shaping and putting in the ears and all that stuff. It's important to make sure you have that marked out, because if you don't, once it's buried in clay, it's hard to tell where those ears actually go. And you want it to match the armature because that's set up as a no, this ear has to be fixed. It has to be rounded just a little bit more in here. Yeah, I gotta really get. Yeah, this is getting harder and harder to. Like I said, this isn't perfect yet. This is going to be near perfect. I don't want it to be, I don't want to have to really do a lot of adding clay and stuff. I will get the base of it on here. But I'm also doing this in such a way that I'm not going to be dealing with. All right, hold on, I see your comment. Not going to have to smooth out too much because I don't want to take off a lot of clay like I did last time when I first started this project 3 years ago. I had to remove a lot of clay. Yeah, it's going to be fun, man. I think this sculpture is going to be a lot funner for me because, if that's a word, funner. Because the head shape is going to be more accurate. I can see that this chin line's sticking out just a little too far here. That's nothing. Instead of taking away, I add a little bit more lip up top is all I do. And the scowl still hasn't been put in yet. The scowl still has to get put in here. So we are going to have a really, hopefully a beautiful. Oh, okay, I got plenty of soft clay down on the bottom. All right, that works. I can't wait to see how this turns out myself. Take off vision. Have you thought about doing a lion? Wolfman, no, I'm not a real big fan of those old werewolf movies. I know they're classics and everything, but I mean, there's so many masks out there that are done with that have been done with that already. So I think once I get away from the Michael Myers stuff, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to do more original material. I'm not going to do. That's why I made that foam head back there. I'm going to do a lot more original stuff. I'm not going to do copyright protected masks because then I'm not limited. You know, if I can make a mask, I'm shaping this clay in my hand. That's what I'm doing. If I can make a mask that catches fire where everybody likes it, you know, and no copyright infringement because I made it myself and it's my concept, it's my original work. You know, I'm not really doing this for a big income either. You know, you guys are. I'm going to be retired in June, late June this year. Now it doesn't mean I'm going to stop working. I don't believe in stopping working. I never believed in that. But at least I'll be retired and I can do what I want when I want. All right, let's see. That's. See what I'm doing here? I got my finger gauging the thickness of my clay, and it's pretty much that. And what I'm doing is I'm rolling this so it's going into the finger. So I don't lose. I don't want the clay to go straight up just because. Yeah, see, it's working. This technique is really working good. I kind of knew that I was going to do it this way right from the onset because of the experience that I've had with, you know, starting out doing this sculpture. And when I turn this around, you'll see what I'm talking about. The top of the head is now really like a real human top of the head. It's not egg-shaped going where it's narrow up here and not narrow here. It's a, you know, the egg shape should be bigger at the top and narrower at the bottom. And that's the proper shape. But William Shatner, man, he's got a weird shape to his head. Now we're doing the flashback, which the flashback is very squarish, all right? But it is wider right up in this area. But the jawline comes in square. So this will all get filled in a little bit more, and we'll have a little bit more cheek line. And then the scowl gets put into play. And of course the ears. We don't want to take that slant away from this, the sides because we don't want to take a slant away from the sides because okay, so here we go again. See how the head's rolling in this direction. So look how far back my finger is. So what we have to do, continue. The more smoothing I do while this is soft, the easier it's going to be for me when I go to start fine-tuning the sculpture. If you know what I mean. Now there's a dip right here that I have to fix. No biggie. Just a little bit of clay. Problem is it's a little too hard. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Once I get this sucker clayed up really nice, um, I'll be able to start really. I can start shaping. I can really start making this thing look really good. And this is going to be a nice flashback. I think once I upload this video today, a lot of you guys will start to see, especially Pipe Master. Pipe Master's a huge, huge flashback fan. He loves that flashback mask. And if it wasn't for him, this wouldn't have been my second choice. But he was very helpful. He works a lot, so I forgive him a lot because he's not on with me all the time, but that's okay. He works a lot, and a lot of you guys do. Everybody has to work their butt off. I try to be on when you guys can really watch. I'm not trying to monetize or make money on YouTube. I thought about it and hemmed and hawed about it. I just don't think that. I think with all the changes they're making with YouTube, I don't see a bright future with it anyway. So that's just me. I might be wrong. You know what? I might be wrong though. I think I keep seeing things on Etsy. The Etsy is the one that made all the changes. I think Etsy is the one that made the changes. It's really tough to sell on there now if you're an independent artist, from what I understand, because they're taking so many fees out on Etsy now. They're killing the people that have accounts that sell their products on there. That now the people are forced to charge a lot more for their products. And that's not cool. You know, and it's all because of their fees and their greed. And the thing is, Etsy doesn't, there's no way to contact anybody. They just make a change and then boom, you're stuck with it, no matter what. So no matter whether you like it or not, it is what it is. So, rule of thumb, I'm sticking to my guns when it comes to how I'm putting this clay onto this head. I don't have to be perfect, go all the way around this thing perfectly. I just have to make sure that I keep that finger up against that head and push the clay into, like, almost parallel with the finger, and just keep working it. Keep working it into the sculpture. I just feel that the hardest, I want to say the part that I didn't understand that well when I first did this 3 years ago was, the importance of making sure you're staying to the human shape. I was just slapping clay on slapping clay and then shaping it and carving it down. Now I am a carver, but if I can eliminate a lot of that carving work just by making sure that I have the right diameter in place and not enough clay. Okay, let's fold it in half. All right, so now you can see that sticking way out, right? And all I'm doing is just pushing it in. Now, once I get this completely covered, then I'll look at the entire shape and I'll say, okay, we need to shave a little off here, a little off there, that kind of thing. There's my bucket of clay that I warmed up, and I've been digging into it. I've gone through 2 buckets so far. 2 buckets of clay. And I do like putting them in the Home Depot plastic buckets, the clay, because 2 reasons. Well, I can't melt it inside the, I can microwave this. I can microwave it for like 2 minutes, and it softens the clay up enough to where you just rake it out. You don't want it so liquid. You don't want it liquefied anyway. The only time I liquefy my clay, and that's when I'm, melting it down again, like I just did off this sculpture. So, all right. Start to stiffen up too much. I'm gonna have to go warm this up because I don't want to have to kill my hands. I don't want to work out today. I just want to worry about getting the sculpture right. See, there's like a little bump here. You just shave that down. You smooth all that out. Once you have the general thickness on here. The main thing is making sure that I still have the bulk all the way around the edge. That's important. And as I get to the details in the face and all that fun stuff, okay, I got to turn my hand so I can get my hand in there. There's a big divot there and a divot there. That's okay, we're going to fix that. Got to add more clay right in here. And the stuff down the bottom's soft. I like working with this clay when it's soft, but boy, when it's hard, forget it. It's brutal on your hands. The monster clay, hard. The consistency I have this now is if I had taken medium clay, I wouldn't say that. It's soft. It would be like soft clay to get the generalized shaping done. And as you can see, we're going around the bends. It's becoming rounder. This flashback's going to be fun. Don't forget, I'll be working on my night creeper in the next few weeks. As far as getting that ready for mold. Got to make the mother mold. I got to make the silicone mold first, and then I'm going to make the I'll make the silicone mold first, and then I'm going to make the master mold right off the okay. It's going to start getting a little bit more difficult as I go into this head now. Because now I'm going on to the flat top of the head. I'm starting to get up into that flatter area. But what's nice is I can see there's by looking, I'm looking straight on this way and I can see where it has to be. Boy, I wish Pipe Master would join us. This flashback is coming into play here. It's coming into clay, should I say. Clay. Now, see how the head shape's starting to come around? I just put my finger right up against this, right in here, and then I just kind of mold that to go into my finger. And just make sure that I keep that thickness the same of the clay. Oh yeah, 27-inch mask. Gotta love it. But I am gonna have to heat this clay up again. But first, I got a big hole in the middle of my pot here, and what I'm doing, my middle of my bucket, and what I'm doing is pulling the clay away from the wall towards the middle. I don't want to puncture a hole in my bucket though. Give me a second. Some things take longer than others. And I just got to get this. I want the clay to melt down. Need a bigger spatula. Well, I had a bigger one back here. Not too big, but not too small either. I have a medium. I think my wife borrowed it and never returned it. Don't you love it when your tools disappear? Then the first thing they do is complain when you go out and buy a new tool. You know, they borrow something, don't put it back, and then you go out and buy a new one because you have no clue where that tool went. And then all of a sudden, they'll come back with the new one, and she'll say, "Oh, take that back. You have one of those." I said, "Yeah, I had one of those. I don't know where it's at." "Oh, I think I know where it's at." Then they all of a sudden magically it reappears. Welcome to my world. You know, I need these tools when I need them. I don't need them when it's convenient for somebody else. I have to have these tools ready to go when I'm working, not when it's convenient for somebody else to put it back. So I keep telling her, don't put the tools back. I'm going out and buying tools. That's all there is to it. So she does. She's very mindful about making sure that the tools get put back now. At the one time I had to spend like $200 or $300 on tools because they just completely vanished. Still don't know where they went. And I'm pretty much I'm getting there. It's gonna be a little bit of work before this is going to come together a lot faster than the other sculpture. I believe that 100%. Look how fast I already did the nose. I mean, it ain't done yet, but it's the shape is really nice. It's really there. If you look at the nose dead on. Of course, all this stuff's got to be worked out and stuff. It's still not 100% yet. All right. I got to go melt this for a few more minutes. Let me go put this in for 2 minutes, melt this down, and I'll be right back. You guys can keep an eye on the sculpture. Make sure it doesn't jump up on me or something and take off or something. You know? He'll be my police. If he winks at you, let me know, all right? Or if he opens up his eye. We got it plenty soft enough. So did he wink at you or what? We are going to close in the top of his head tonight. Maybe I got to pull up some pictures and try to get I want to get this jawline right. Maybe that's what we'll do too. That down pretty good. See how soft that is now? That was about 1 minute and 20 seconds. It's really, really, really soft now. 1 minute and 20 seconds. Look at that. I'm just squeezing that. And it's not liquid. You don't want it to be liquefied because then you can't. Then you got to wait for like a half hour for it to get solid again. So, we just keep working and working. We keep working and working the magic here. So much easier. Oh my God. Getting the shape just right. Now what I want to do is avoid working with this until it stiffens up a little more. I'm going to work this way. Actually, I'm going to go to the back of the head. And I'll work up here. Now that's stiffer. Now this will get raked yet. Now this technique is my technique. I've never seen anybody do this. So, but as you can see, the results are pretty good. I'm getting a very nice even coat of clay all over this guy. Some people are good and they can just eye it up, but once you start getting, you know, the whole thing covered, it's hard to see how thick it is because the armature's buried. So you always have that armature exposed enough to where where you can see. Yeah, even the shape of the scowl, the way the jawline comes in, it's really going to be a nice. It's going to be on the money. I'll be able to really get this really close to the flashback. The other one was just, if I could have shaved it all down, and then I would have had to narrow everything. It just was too much. There was so much clay on that. We're really burying some clay on here really quick. We're trying to get done, that's why. This is still soft over here. Look, see how this is all coming in now? This is working good. This is working good. Flashback isn't going to take as long as I thought. The generalized shape is pretty much close. The shape of the head and everything. That was the hardest part, is getting the shape just right. I know what I have to do to the jawline. Pretty cool, man. I like it. I like it. I like my technique. Got some melted clay there. That's some real melted clay there. A little too soft. I need that stuff on the outside. Alright, that's better. Give me a second. I'm melting this clay in my. I'm trying to get it uniform. There's a couple spots that are hard, and then there's a couple spots that are soft. And I want it all one softness. There we go. Roll it up a little bit. Way too soft on that one spot. This is really soft. Now when clay is too soft, it'll ball up on you when you're trying to smooth it in. You want it, that's why I kind of like a medium clay, or, you know, working with real soft clay is not good with the fingers too much, I don't think. I don't know. It's just me. I'm looking at the camera. It looks like there's a flat spot right in here. A biggie. Oops, it's so soft right here. I gotta be careful. Clay's really warm. That's looking a little better, but I gotta make sure it's the same way on both sides. And it's not. Alright, I can see some serious dents over here. But now this is somewhat stiffened up, so I can really get a nice round surface on it. Have to look at it from all angles too, guys. When you're looking at the head and the shape of the head. This stuff's really soft. This sucks. Some spots in the clay, look at that, it's almost liquefied. See how it's sticking to my hand so much? You don't want that. You never want it to that soft. Just keep working it, and it'll get rid of a little bit of that stickiness. That needs to be stiffer, as she says. That needs to be stiffer. All right, that's going to sit on the side, and let me see if I can rake some stiffer stuff off the side of this thing. Yeah, there we go. A little bit at a time here, because this is a little valley right here. Damn it. So soft up here, I gotta be careful. I push it and it starts deforming the shape. Somebody just comment, hold on. Once this stiffens up, then I'll be able to fill in all the little divots and stuff. But I'm trying to smooth it out as much as possible right now. My fingers just dug into that side. Oh, be damned. So soft on that one side still, because the clay's so soft. Gotta be careful. Where you place your fingers and stuff when you're holding on to something. Gotta be careful. I'll have to fix that in a second. Now I have to flip it around and fix that. There's a dent right there. And we're going to fix that. You see all the fingerprints I put on the other side. It's terrible. top of the head. You can see it. A little dent there. Over here. Now, once I have the general amount of clay that I need on here, then I finally start shaping. Now I see that this side's a little bulgier. This side is bulgier than this side, so we're going to put did it again. Damn it, keep your hands off the top of the head. All right, this side. This side needs more clay over here. Yeah, it looks a lot better. Okay. I can carve away some of this. That's okay. And that's the whole point. I've got to try to keep it as minimal as possible. But I'm going to have to carve some of this away because I'm pretty sure I changed the diameter just a little bit. It's okay to go a little heavier. See, I'm looking at this side goes up a little bit straighter. And this side's a little bit slanted right in here too much. Bet you're never going to learn. Not time for pictures yet. I'm not just trying to get the shape down. latch on it. So. Now, I know one way to smack that down a little bit. There's nothing on this thing. Yeah, I gotta clean that clay now. Ain't no big deal. Just take the rake, let me scrape it. Let's clean clay. Now this is called raking. This is going to even out the thickness everywhere. So all those little lines, this is going to reveal a lot of the we'll be able to really get it shaped right. This also reveals the highs and lows. You're raking off all the high spots. That's the key. You're raking off all the high spots. Honestly, I didn't think I'd be this far into it by now already, as far as where I'm headed with this now. I did not think I'd be here already, not even close. Okay, so we have to shape this side. See, one side of this has a rake in it, little notches. The other side is clean. And we're using the rake side now just to scrape away the highs and reveal the lows. I'm taking a lot off. Can't afford to do that. It's called leveling it out. Level out the sculpture by revealing the highs and lows. You can see some of it you can't. Raking is huge. You really have to rake them when you get that. When you're done your shaping, and you pretty much. I got the wrong side on, dummy. Okay. Now, I'm gonna widen these cheeks when I have the pictures up, and I can't do that while I'm live here. I tried to, and I can't get a good enough zoom on it. I have to be able to see all angles until the shape is right. Once the shape is down, then from there, then when I start honing in on the fine details, I'll do the lives. Eye cuts I'm going to do probably right in all in one video. I'll probably do that live. I'll do that live, the eye cuts. But it'll all be videotaped. I just can't answer questions. Well, you guys haven't been talking to me much anyway, so. Alright, the head's finally firming up, thank God. Now what the rake is showing me, let me show you. By raking this, I can see this low spot right here. You see this little divot. You can see the little spots, the little areas that have to have a little bit of clay on them. Now, I only did a little bit of work while you guys were did the nose, added more clay around the chin. You know, I did some work, but I didn't go crazy. I wasn't doing a ton of work off screen. Hold on. I'm gonna read your comment. You just made one. That is where the ear hole is. So the ear is pretty much right here. There's a dent back here. That's why you have to look at this thing from every angle. There's a dent right there. Big dent right in here. Keep working my way around this thing. Review any real. That's not clay there. Dent right in here. And what I'm doing is I'm using the lighting to my advantage. I'm going to read your comment. All right, take off, Vision. Have a good night. You're probably already off. I'm sorry I didn't. You have a good night. Get some sleep. What I'm trying to do now is I'm just trying to make sure that all the big dents are out of it, because when you go to rake this thing, you don't want to have to take a whole bunch off just to fix a dent. Like there's a dent there. This one here is not really much of a dent. That's gotta make sure these dents are not in the sculpture. Low spots. You know, you want to make sure there's low spots. Everything's evened out. I really don't want to take a ton of clay off this thing. A dent right here. Next video, I'll start really raking this thing hard. Once I get this oh yeah, don't even look like Michael now, that's for sure. Looks like a human head is all it looks like. Now I won't rake until I get this area filled in more. That's another thing. I have to make sure that I have everything in. Now I'm getting, the crumbs are getting smaller. I'm filling in little voids is all. Crumbs of clay, as Nick would say. Just trying to make life a lot easier when I go to smooth it out. I don't want a bunch of lumpy, I don't want a lumpy face. Let's see what the shape looks like looking dead on. That's looking pretty good. Not perfect yet, but not looking for perfect tonight. We are looking for I might as well fix the scowl a little bit. This has to be lowered quite significantly. I just don't have the tools here in front of me right now. All right, guys. This is where we're at so far. And I'm getting tired. Just looking at a high spot. All right, this is the human head part of it. And we got to transfer this human head into a Shatner head. Flashback. How many are on? 5 are watching. Wow. Okay. So, let me show you what it looks like dead on. And we got a lot more to go. We're just now starting to put the features in and stuff, so. I have to make sure I have the cheeks in. I have to make sure that this is all the right, and everything has to be right before I rake it all. I rake the top of the head a little bit. I can rake the back of the head, but I can't really do anything to the face until the face is actually shaped like Shatner, shaped more like the Flashback. You know, all that shaping has to take place yet. But the width of the head, let's see if we increase this too much, because otherwise all I have to do is rake it to bring it back down. Nope, we're still at 27 inches right there, baby. That's good. That's where we want to be. 27 inches. This is going to be a nice light flashback. It should be really nice. Oh yeah. A lot of work has to be done around the eyes, the cheeks, the lips. The chin line has to be a little bit broader, just a little bit wider out in this area. And this is the right depth right here. This is the right length. It looks rounder because this is narrow. So this looks like it's stretched. But that's going to change as this rounds a little more. When I get this rounder, this is going to look right. This will look awesome when it's done. So, the flashback is underway, guys. The flashback is underway. Anybody sees Pipe Master, tell them to check out this video. The flashback is underway. Now let me turn it to the camera so you guys can see a dead-on shot. Now, it's more important to see the shape of the head. Don't look at details yet. We are a long ways off from details. I did start the nose, and a little bit of the scowl work. I have to do more of that. I have to take down a lot more of that. But it's going to come in nice. It's going to come in nice when it's all said and done. That's funny. Takeoff Vision, if you're still there, I want to. I'm gonna add you on my friend request. You send me a friend request on Facebook. Cool. So let's do that, and I'm gonna call it a night because I'm getting sleepy, like I always do at nighttime. But thanks for tuning in. Remember to hit the like, the subscribe. And how long was I on? 93 minutes. Oh yeah. And if you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button. And thank you for tuning in on the start of a flashback mask.